Hello, this is Chef John from foodwishes.com with how to do lump-free sauce. People, for whatever reason, are paralyzed by lump phobia when they make sauces, and it's really ridiculous because if you use the right technique, it's almost impossible to get lumps, even if you try, which, by the way, I'm going to do. I'm going to try to get lumps to prove this method works every time. All right, the first step is making a roux, which you know is a butter flour mixture. So I'm going to melt my butter on medium-low heat, and what you have to do is you have to cook the butter until the water evaporates. Now they call this singing. The butter is singing. You hear that snapping and crackling. That's the water in the butter boiling out. The cheaper butter you use, the longer this is going to take. So this is going to take you a couple minutes. When it stops singing, hear that? That means the water has evaporated out of the butter, and you're basically just left with the fat. At that point, I'm going to add my flour. And we're going to cook that for about 4 minutes or so. The best tip I ever got in culinary school, besides keep the mustache, because you look like a chef. The best advice I ever got, cook a roux until it smells like cooked pie crust. That way you know the raw taste of the flour has been cooked out. When you smell that aroma of a cooked pie crust, you're done. Okay, so here we go. The secret to a perfectly smooth sauce, hot roux, ice cold milk. Let me repeat, hot roux, ice cold milk. I'm going to intentionally do this completely wrong. Most recipes say drizzle it in while you whisk, very slowly. I'm just going to dump in a half a cup of milk. Look at that. Terrible, thick, giant lump. Totally screwed, right? Wrong. Let me add a little more milk. Because the milk is ice cold and the roux is hot, this will not lump up. As bad as it looks, and it looks pretty bad, as bad as this looks, as long as I keep stirring, that cold milk is going to dissolve that roux and it's going to totally smooth out. At this point, I'm going to dump in all the rest of the milk, which I did a little half cup at a time, which is kind of annoying. All right, so all the milk's in. Still, maybe it doesn't look that great, but check this out. There's no trick photography here. A couple minutes later, as the mixture warmed up, the milk dissolved that roux, and I had a beautiful, perfectly smooth, silky sauce. In fact, it was smoother than silk. It was more like velour or velvet. By the way, when you make a roux-based white sauce like this, it's going to be at its maximum thickness as soon as it simmers. So if you're wondering how thick your sauce is going to be, that's it. When it comes to a simmer, you got it. It's not going to get any thicker than that. Okay? And there you go. A perfectly smooth sauce. Check it out. Spoon test. There's no lumps. You would see the lumps, the chunks on the back of the spoon. Perfectly smooth. I hope this very simple, quick demo illustrates the fact you have nothing to fear making these white sauces. They are not temperamental. Hot roux, cold milk equals no lumps ever. And of course, white sauce, such a common ingredient in so many favorite American recipes. I made some macaroni and cheese, which is probably my favorite application, but this is good for so many things. Next time you need to make white sauce, remember this demo. There will be no lumps. Go to the site. The ingredients are there for a simple white sauce. And as always, enjoy.